they are the best outboard out there.
It's like a sports car. It'll set you back in the seat.
I put the hammer down, I'm gone.
Faster, quieter, lighter.
They're the most reliable engine I've ever seen.
From day one, it's been flawless.
Bar none. The best in the industry.
Just incredible. I discovered E-TEC.
I want to talk to you about the best built, most exciting outboard engines ever made. They're called E-TECs. They're from Evinrude, and they deliver everything you've ever wanted in an outboard. These machines are built for awesome power. They give you bulletproof reliability, the cleanest emissions, and the lowest maintenance in the industry, bar none. In the next few minutes, you'll see how Evinrude E-TECs, the most technologically advanced outboards in the world, match up against the best engines the competition has to offer. You'll see what kinds of compromises owners of four-stroke engines have to put up with, and why owning an E-TEC will make boating more enjoyable than ever before.
It's cleaner, lighter,
Faster, more fuel efficient.
There isn't a four-stroke on the market that does what the E-TEC does.
For years, some outboard manufacturers have told us we should buy four-stroke engines because four strokes reduce emissions. Well, they do that, but at a cost. Four-stroke engines sacrifice power. They're heavy, and their complicated design needs servicing time after time after time. Evinrude knew that boaters didn't want to compromise. They wanted the power and low maintenance that two strokes had always delivered. So Evinrude reinvented the outboard. They made it the cleanest engine on the water, and they kept all the two-stroke muscle that boaters love.
There must be a dozen reasons to buy an E-TEC over a four-stroke. They make more horsepower, they make more torque, they're cleaner, they're quieter, they're tougher. They don't need any dealer servicing for a period of 3 years. I challenge anyone to give me one good reason to buy a four-stroke over an E-TEC.
Putting an E-TEC on your boat means never sacrificing what you really want in an outboard, never compromising on important things like torque. We're heading to Stuart, Florida to see how an Evinrude E-TEC matches up against a leading four-stroke in one amazing test of torque. Get ready for a flat-out, full-throttle tug-of-war.
The tug-of-war test is a great test for torque because it shows how much power the motor is able to make at any given RPM.
Each of these Sea Chaser Bay Runners is identical in weight and configuration, and each is outfitted with a 150 horsepower engine. One is the leading mid-size four-stroke from Yamaha, the other an Evinrude E-TEC. An independent observer ensures that each engine is propped and rigged to manufacturer's specifications. Everything possible is done to ensure a fair test. These are professional boat drivers relying on spotters and maximum safeguards. Do not try this yourself under any circumstances. Now, the drivers line up and wait for the start.
3, 2, 1, hit it!
Here are two engines with the same horsepower, but look at the difference E-TEC's tremendous torque makes. It literally pulls the Yamaha underwater and capsizes the Bay Runner. Of course, Yamaha's extra 70 pounds of weight doesn't help it either. More weight, less torque. Not a good combination. Where does the Evinrude E-TEC get so much torque? Let's compare it to a four-stroke. A four-stroke engine makes power only half the time on every other revolution, and its belts, valves, and cams create power-draining friction. The E-TEC, on the other hand, creates power on every cycle, continuously, with far less friction to overcome.
When the dust settles at the end of the day, the four-stroke motor just doesn't have an advantage over the E-TEC motor in any way, shape, or form that I can see, and I think the numbers bear that out.
E-TEC's computer-controlled fuel injector is the most advanced combustion technology ever designed for an outboard. Making up to 8 million calculations per second, the computer meters the precise amount of fuel for every speed and load condition. The result? More torque throughout the RPM range than any engine in their class.
Running rivers here in Alaska, you've got to have something that's going to have that snap, that jump, that's going to get you out of the water and get you on plane in a hurry.
The faster you get there, the faster you can get your lines out, and the faster you can start fishing.
And it doesn't matter what RPM you're at. If you're at 5,000, you go to 5,500, you can feel it. It sets you back. It puts excitement back in the boat.
Ever since Ole Evinrude invented the world's first outboard motor a century ago, Evinrude engineers have been pushing the boundaries of what marine engines can do. Now with E-TEC, they've reinvented the outboard. They've combined the two-stroke design with things like space-age alloys and smarter fuel injectors. They've eliminated the need to mix oil and gas and created the cleanest engines on the water. No smoke, no fumes. But unlike four-strokes, E-TEC sacrificed nothing. E-TEC outboards scream with power, and they're more reliable and easier to maintain than any other engines you can buy. Myth: the EPA will soon ban two-stroke outboards. Fact: this idea is so wrong. We'll go to the pristine waters of Lake Tahoe to set the record straight. One of the clearest and cleanest lakes in North America, this magnificent lake is also one of the most regulated.
We regulate almost everything that goes on in this basin.
In 1999, in a major effort to reduce emissions, the Tahoe Regional Planning Agency banned carbureted two-stroke outboards.
We go out, we have a patrol boat, and we look for illegal engines. After the word got out that we had this ban, companies like Evinrude created better engines. With the direct fuel injected E-TEC, you get a much cleaner burning engine and very little pollution discharge. They meet all the EPA standards, they meet our standards, and we've had great success with it on our own boat. After the first year, we noticed a 98% decrease in the toxic chemicals. If you come out to Lake Tahoe, you can see why these rules are in effect, because it's one of the most beautiful places on Earth, and we want to keep it that way.
The fact is that the entire line of Evinrude E-TECs rank cleaner than any other outboards for total emissions. Who says? The EPA does. In fact, E-TEC is the only marine engine ever to receive the EPA's Clean Air Excellence Award. E-TECs run cleaner because their revolutionary combustion technology is so efficient. Inside the E-TEC cylinder, a unique high-pressure swirl pattern atomizes every droplet. So the entire fuel charge is combusted and converted into power. More power, cleaner emissions, better fuel economy. No wonder people all over the world are repowering their boats with E-TECs.
We do a lot of repowers here. 90% of our business is probably repowers. We got to get the customer something that's safe, something that's going to run good, something that's going to get them good fuel economy, and E-TEC fits the bill.
When I repower with the new E-TEC over my old carbureted two-stroke, I doubled my gas mileage. It really makes me happy that I can help the environment in that regard.
Use less fuel on a normal boating season, use less oil as well.
I like pulling into the dock without a cloud of smoke following me in.
They've absolutely converted me.
The E-TEC was where it was at for us.
Want more proof that E-TEC is superior to four-strokes? Go to Evinrude.com and see how E-TECs stack up against other outboards in every category.